Can you give them a round of applause and appreciation? Indeed, you can see Kenya is well represented with the beauty, culture, and also the energy. The vibe is right, and I believe we'll have a good session. So to my far right, or to my closer right, is a guy that is known well. He's not that one that has the challenge of degrees, like right now, Arabic degrees is problem outside, but it's somebody that has taken the commitment and the passion to drive the youth agenda, drive the women agenda well. So he will give us an introduction and also tell us more about what he does and what he has achieved in the past days. Thank you.
The period man, breaking the silence. The period man,
breaking the silence.
The period man,
breaking the silence.
So my name is James Atito. Is this thing working?
Yeah.
That is what you Asante. My name is James Atito. I work at Stretchers Youth Organization as the Finance and Administration Manager. So we are in Mombasa. Stretchers is a community-based organization that was formed in 2011. Last year we celebrated our 10th anniversary and launched our first strategic plan for the next 5 years. In our strategic plan, we are looking at 3 thematic areas. The first one being health and well-being, where we are more specific to addressing issues around sexual reproductive health and rights. In another thematic area, we focus on policy and budget advocacy. We target adolescents and young people 10 to 24 years because of the major challenges that these young people face in terms of access or demand for health services. So we facilitate them, we train them, we lead them to services. From big meetings to policymakers and different stakeholders for their voice to be heard, and also for them to engage in policy and budget advocacy. On thematic area number 2, we work on good governance and democracy, where we focus on constitution and constitutionalism. We train the state community on the constitution, different chapters, different articles, and ensuring that our community is empowered to defend themselves. That is the main focus, or the main reason why Stretchers Organization identified that as one of the key thematic areas to focus on. We are interested in reducing these crises, the teenage pregnancy, the HIV infection, increasing uptake of contraceptives among young people, mitigating challenges that come with menstrual hygiene management, making people aware, breaking the silence on period stigma, and just making periods a conversation that everyone can engage in at any time without fear or any prejudice. In a nutshell, I think I less than close of time, but I'm looking forward to engage more on the same.
Thank you. That was James Atito from Twitter. And as we go by with the conversation, there's been conversation about that. How can we have sanitary pads in public areas which are free? I believe in your reactions and in your budget shots, we'll come to see how to have an action plan of that. Next, I will welcome Irene, who is part of Declare from West Pokot. She's a very energetic and very lovely lady to be with us today. You're welcome, Irene.
Thank you so much. As you heard, my name is Irene from West Pokot County. I'm a young woman who believes in a statement: living life for others is life worth living. I'm a teacher by profession, but I decided not to go to class because in my county, majority of girls are left behind in terms of education. So I decided not to go to class because I had it in mind that one day I'll be class teaching students, high school students, and I might get only 4 girls in a class. So that motivates me to go back to the community, address the cultural issues around education, and that's what I've been doing. Under Declares, we have programs that is for in sexual reproductive health programs, advocacy for their rights. We also do rescues. We rescue girls who are at risk, even boys who are at risk, and take them to rescue centers, assess their needs, and do referrals to maybe the relative authority. We partner with the Children Protection Desk. We have in our county, we have something called CPU, that's Child Protection Unit. That's where young children are kept there for further investigation and case management. There's also do mentorship programs to school-going children and also to children outside school or youth outside school. And mentorship in terms of education, in terms of economic empowerment.
Also, we have four guys who have gotten a scholarship out of football, and they are studying various courses in different university institutions. We have also, I can also say that through sports and the project we are undertaking here, it has been of great impact, positive impact to our communities, because crime rate in our area has also reduced drastically. Another thing is that the Kazintani, not the government initiatives like the Kazintani. When those opportunities come, we are given priority. Like the last time when they were enrolling boys to the Kazintani, they enrolled all the boys who are in our team and we are unemployed. So that's part of what we have been doing. Thank you.
I'm really touched with what you guys have managed to do as a community, and you living as a testimony that youth can come out of crime, and crime is your power, especially for the young people. And there are also conversations that have been outside there, and I also appreciate Youth Alive being part of the Ashara Fund, big proposal, which was advocating for proper and better funding, which can allow many youth to access government funds, because the Wezo Fund, the youth fund, a lot of eligibility criteria puts out youth not to qualify. Allow me now to welcome my sister from Wasigishu Working Group to take us through on what they've been doing.
Thank you. Here we came. I'm a student from Moi University, taking civil aviation management. I'm a brand ambassador of education and advocate for sustainable development goals, specifically number 13, which is climate change. I am a member of UNESCO Youth, also Greenwald Youth, which deals with climate change. My organization is YETT Working Group, and it's from Zimbabwe County. Basically, our mission is to connect the youth to the reality, connections out there, to create a better daily life to the young generation. And what we do in the organization, we empower youth, that is through leadership. We deal with issues with the gender. Also, we have climate action, which is our major focus. And we partner with the NEMA. We have Moi University, which is an institution, and also the Department of Environment, that is the same issue. Climate, I would say, is a weather pattern, long-term weather pattern, and it changes from time to time. While climate change, this is the shift in the weather patterns, and they usually are influenced by natural forces or human activities. And human activities, these are our daily activities. Like for example, we have burning fossil fuels in our vehicles, in the factories, in our communities. We have smoking, we have emission of harmful gases into the environment, and this is it greatly affects it causes the greenhouse effect. We also have pollution. This is air, land, we have water, and it is majorly through improper waste disposal. We have deforestation also, and this greatly affects the rain-making process. Okay, what I would say that climate change is the defining issue in our time, and we are at the defining moment. So, climate change, it affects what we eat, what we take, like the air we breathe. It affects the weather we experience. For example, we have heavy rains, the increase in water levels, it causes floods. When there are floods, people die, livestock die. We also have destruction of property, and through that, people are traumatized. Whatever they have to live with after all those things, it's hard. So we also have mental issues arising from it. We have food system being disrupted. Since these weather patterns, when they shift, when they change, they are a great threat to the production of food in our communities. Also, we have these waterborne diseases, vector-borne diseases. We have typhoid. Through this flooding in our communities, we get infected with those diseases, and it greatly affects us as a community.
White collar jobs. In Kenya now the white collar jobs are minimal, they are not there. So in all areas, when you go back, please encourage these youth to do something in agribusiness. There are opportunities and there's a huge potential in the agribusiness quality.
In our organization, what we've been doing, we as youth, we have been actively engaging locally and nationally, others globally, in the creation of awareness of climate change. And we've been running educational programs, we've been training other fellow youths and advocating on the same. We've been advocating on conservation of nature, conservation of energy, because these are things that affect the environment, and the environment is that climate change that we're experiencing. We're also promoting the use of renewable energy. We're also adopting the environmental friendly practices which favor our environment and not harm them in return. So my question is, what if we don't stop this climate change? Will the earth still be suitable for life? Like, what are we required, or why are we involved in this climate change? So we as an organization, we took it as our own goal, since we are the foundation of tomorrow's generation. So we have this organization, we have other organizations in our organization. So mostly we encourage you to join them, participate. Not only tell them to plant trees, clean up rivers, but also be part of that decision making and the advisory part. Since we are the youth, it affects us mostly. We also have this cleanup of rivers activities in schools that we carry out. The Go Green activities. We have garbage collections. We do like after a while, for example, twice after 2 weeks. And recycling, that is of plastics. We have involving in protections, and we have campaigns which are against climate change. And we also limit the use of plastics. Also, we encourage other youths to report. We have those illegal activities that going on in our communities. We tell them to come out, report them to the authorities. At least something can be done through them speaking out. So the future of this planet and the next, it actually lies in the hands of the youth of today. So what I will basically do is, we as youth, we should tailor more climate action activities locally, manage waste. We have climate action talks. We have youth councils, the advisory bodies, and the policy-making decisions. We also have festivities that you can have, maybe raise funds and to facilitate these activities that are going on in the community. Also, we have other bodies in the government being involved. They should fund the youth, support them financially in their activities in this quest and the fight for climate change. Also, we have these bodies should also formulate laws. By formulating laws on climate change, this is going to help minimize the effects of climate changes. So the businesses, governments, they should invest in renewable resources, at least switch to suitable transport modes, improve farming, at least encourage vegan, have restoring carbon absorption modes. At least those are going to help us greatly, and by doing so, we're going to be heard because our voice matters and our life matters. Thank you.
The Sinai Paradise Youth is dealing with matters of empowerment, and my sister Irene, they are dealing with matters of gender. Enabling environment matters because if we not be having tailored, localized acts and policies on climate actions, then we will not have an environment to achieve our mission and vision as members of the resident of a community, as members of organization, and as members of society.
Stopping the climate change is not easy, but through unison, we are going to take those micro effects. They are going to have macro effects to the environment. Thank you.
I'm honored here to be among you, and I'm also a nominee at World Urban Campaign as a grassroots leader. So if you are our World Urban Campaign partner, please do vote for me. And as we come to a conclusion, there are things that we have to come to an agreement. That is, from here, how are we going to participate? I know we've been participating in the past, we participated today, but how are we going to bring it to the top-notch level? This is only going to be possible through effective partnership and also teamwork, and also realizing our SWOT. So each and everything that we worked on today in this workshop, from the concept we are being given, the dissemination of information we are being given, let's take them effectively. And as we continue to participate, I believe our social media handles are going well. Yvonne, you are the champion of social media. We are 36 participants, so definitely if we follow each other on Facebook and Twitter, we're supposed to be having 72 followers. And out of 72 followers, each follower has a network of 100 people. So basically, from today when you'll be coming out of this workshop, you need to be having like 500 new followers and following. If that will not be effective, then that means you need to participate effectively. Thank you, and God bless each one of us, to our partners YETT, and also to the Danish Kingdom. I appreciate you, and let's continue participating. Asante.
The testimonies that we brought forward, you truly have the country's interest at heart.
If you get my coffee, this is the first cohort of the national conference. We set the bar so high for the others, and we may like your energy levels for spot on, for knowledge about the things you do for community venue, and always our art. Whatever you learned here, especially the county action plans, and then we implement to the communities you serve. And go make impact and empower other young people out there. Senior.
Experience sharing and the knowledge sharing, and even the takeaways that are our areas of improvements are immense. Me as an organization, I didn't have a lot in my my basket right now, and I believe most of us do. So this has been impactful for me as an individual and also for the organization that I represent.
The objective of the conference. And this being the past, we are hoping in future we are going to get bigger and better.
Actually, it has been awesome. Mimi kama kijana kuaminiwa na serikali kuwa mmoja wa signatory wa 154 million za madini kule Pwani.